Incorrect protocol. Target designated.
Nuclear launch detected. Detected. Clear under attack.
Prepare to die.
Imaging complete.
Non-vigilant.
Alright, dudes, and the 20% of you who are dudettes, this is probably the one you've been waiting for. Hiya versus Stork. Magikarp versus the dinosaur. And this is the second set. I think you all remember the first set. It went a little bit something like, well, I'll be the Terran here. Okay, this is my impression of the Terran in the first set. Okay, there we go. But, yes, I think the first game was a combination of a couple of things. I think it was a combination of Stork's excellence in the matchup mixed with Hiya's just kind of fumbling around, making a lot of mistakes in the first set. So I don't think the Hiya should feel too bad about that first set being completely destroyed like Stork did to him, because Stork just capitalized on a lot of mistakes. If Hiya hadn't made some of the mistakes he did, if he came in with a better game plan for that map, have some way to deal with shuttle play, because he didn't really have any turrets around to deal with those shuttles. Yeah, if he put himself in a better build order advantage, he would have dealt with the Dragoons easier. It would have been easier to deal with the drop ship play too. Well, the shuttle play. Probably would have done his own drop ship play later in that game. That's probably what he had planned for that map. Pathfinder. But here we go. This is Icarus. Let's see if Stork can lock it down with 2-0 or if the Magikarp can evolve. Here we go. Accept. Over at the 3 o'clock position in yellow is Hiya. That means up at the 12 o'clock position in red is Stork. Go Stork! Okay, I'm biased. Sue me. Okay, don't. Okay, let's get some predictions from the Nukenites to start this thing out with. A lot of Stork ones here. A lot of Stork ones. Here's one from Zucchini1. Writes, Stork will deliver an OSL baby in 2011. Yes. Another one from Mr. Big Fail. I don't know if I want to listen to him. Stork is going to recall his probes into Hiya's main to destroy all of his factories while killing his tanks with scouts. Nuff said. Exclamation points, of course. Here's one from Irrationalis. That's a weird one. Irrationalis, I think. Writes, Hiya versus Stork is my favorite quarterfinal. Both of them have impressed me the most in this round of 16. And Hiya, of course, is the Dragon Toss Destroyer. Go, go, Magikarp! Yeah, I think that Hiya does have a very good record against all of the Protoss dragons. Most namely, the Khan dragons, Jangbi and Stork. I think he does have a winning record, still has a winning record against Stork, and definitely has one against Jangbi. But of course, it's been a long time since he took down Stork. I think the beginning of last year was the last time that he beat Stork. Might have been the last time that he came up against Stork, too, before the first set of this series, of course. Not exactly sure. But Hiya, hopefully he has himself in a better mindset tonight. He must have been crushed after that first set. I mean, how could he not be? That was just a beatdown, complete beatdown. Gotta be embarrassing. But he had a week to think things over. He had a week to convince himself that, you know what, I'm not screwed. I have 2 more chances here. If I win 2 in a row, that's all I gotta do. Win 2 games, I can move up into the semifinals. But of course, he's probably had to convince himself, well, conveniently forget about the fact that Stork has the best versus Terran of any player ever. But hopefully he can get that out of his mind. That's probably one of the main reasons that Stork does so well, is because of his, well, yeah, his, what's the word I'm going for? Damn it! I'm losing my words tonight. What is happening to me? That's what his, it's not motivation. I'll get it later. I'll come up with the word at the end of the game. Once they GG, that's when the word will pop out. That's a nice little photo of Stork. Doesn't look anything like him, but very anime in its own way. That sign said the word that I needed, but it's in Korean, so that didn't help me. So, okay, Hiya is hanging outside here. His reputation precedes him. That's the word. Reputation. Yeah, Stork's reputation as being a versus Terran monster makes most Terran players, except for maybe Flash, quake in their boots. I mean, one of the reasons that Flash wouldn't quake in his boots is because he's beaten freaking Stork. In a final, 3-0'd him, by the way. So he's probably not that scared of Stork. But all the other Terran players are, including Hiya. So hopefully Hiya was able to shake that. And now I'm going to try to use the word reputation for this entire commentary to get it back in my head. The Dragoon range is spinning for Stork. Going for Dragoon range first. And now that he's killed the SCV, he kept the Dragoon range spinning, though, which means he is going to commit to it instead of throwing down a robotics facility. And the observers are pointing that out, too. They're saying, yep, that robotics facility is still spinning. So that means the Dragoon upgrade. Dragoon range upgrade. But he has his bunker at the front, which Stork will soon try to take down with his Dragoon range. He'll have that Dragoon range very quickly, too. So hopefully this game doesn't pan out like the last game does. Hiya, because that would be very bad. Very bad. Alright, let's get some more predictions as Stork is hanging out here waiting for his Dragoon range. Here's another one from LOL, I'm on the internet. Writes, Stork's time to shine! Said a bunch of curse words before that. But anyway. He's the white guy. Hey, white guy. Go eat your macaroni and cheese. Here's another one from Ching5210. Writes, Stork and Fantasy in the final, 100%. There's no chance those mediocre players can get to the finals. Mediocre? I think some of these players would take umbrage. But there's the Dragoon range is done, and Hiya is prepared at the front. Already much quicker on the repair than he was in this first game against Stork. So I think he might have refined a build for this map. Maybe Hiya can finally win versus Stork. Of course, it is very, very, very unlikely. But the observers are pointing out that there is a small little ledge that Hiya could siege up on and probably take down a lot of shield damage on one of the Dragoons. But Stork is still hanging in here. I don't see any reinforcement Dragoons coming in from him. And Stork is actually hanging around at the 2 o'clock. So Stork is taking 2 bases now. He just plopped down the Nexus at the 2 o'clock, so he's uber expanding, actually. Which seems to be the way he goes these days. Expands all over the place. Already thrown down that base, and Hiya is actually going to scout it. That could be bad for Stork, because going for this base this early is risky. But it's not risky if it's not scouted, but it is going to be scouted quickly. Oh, Siege lands on all 3 of the Dragoons, and didn't land on the Zealot, though. The observers are pointing that out. Now, I think Hiya saw the Nexus. I think he did with the engineering bay. So I think that Hiya might be able to push out soon and take down that base. That would be ridiculous. But Stork, the observers are pointing out that did Hiya see that base? I don't know if he saw that base or not. Looking at his mini-map, I don't think he saw the base, because I don't see any red on his mini-map anywhere up there at the 2 o'clock. So did he actually pull back without seeing the Nexus? That would be insane, and possibly game-ending for him if he did not see anything. But yeah, I don't think he saw that base. I think he pulled back before he even saw the edge of the Nexus. So already Hiya is showing that his game sense is not quite spot on. So if he doesn't think that there's a base up there, that base could be safe for a long period of time before Hiya catches on and goes up there with some troops to take it down. But alright, Hiya, what are you up to? Building another factory, I see, and Starport, getting the Starport already, so this probably means some drop ship play from Hiya. He knows what his strength is, and it is drop ships. He's used it very effectively versus Zerg in this OSL so far, so I don't see why it would be any different versus Protoss. Drop strategy is just as good versus Protoss, especially since Stork has gone for an early 3rd base. So Hiya, if he goes around harassing, Stork is it's going to be tough for him to fight off their harassment. No matter what unit composition he uses to drop, either with siege tanks and vultures and whatnot. Here comes the engineering base, spots the pylon. So now Hiya knows that there's a base up there. He didn't know earlier, but he knows now. He was able to float up there. The Reaver's coming in, trying to take out the tank. Stork does take down a tank, trying to do some more epic Reaver harassment. Takes down 2 freaking tanks so far. Getting another one down to red, but he's got to be careful there. Takes down another tank. So Stork has already caused a lot of damage to Hiya as far as his units go. He hasn't done any economic damage yet, but I wouldn't put it past Stork to take down this last remaining tank. But luckily for Hiya, he does have turrets this time to fend off the freaking shuttle. And it'll keep the shuttle away from that final remaining siege tank inside the main, too. So Stork, I think he's waiting there to put down another tech building to help himself block that 2 o'clock position. But if Stork can keep that base, he's going to be in a great position. He's going to be in an economic advantage over Hiya. But now that Stork has seen that engineering bay floating around, I think he saw that with his shuttle. He might assume that Hiya is going to... Well, Hiya canceled a building there. I'm not exactly sure what he canceled. It probably was another factory. Well, a position for a factory was a bit more awkward than he wanted. But alright, looking around at what Stork has, he's working on getting out more gateways. And now that he has his 3rd base up and running, going for his 4th now, just mega expanding. Stork going to expand all over the place. As Hiya is still stuck at 2, but he is going for dropship play now. Has a Wraith, just in case the shuttle comes back into play. But building a lot of factories, Hiya's building a lot of factories off of these 2 bases. And I think he will push out soon to try to take out one of these bases. He sees that Stork is building 2 more pylons. Stork is trying to expand twice again. He's trying to expand at the 10 o'clock and down at the 9 o'clock. So Stork dropping his Reaver, trying to get some more Scarabs on that before he moves out. Making sure it's loaded up with Scarabs. But Stork, oh Stork, I hope he is prepared for the drop, because the drop is coming out soon. 2 dropships full of troops. I think we're going to have 2 tanks and 4 vultures. Somewhat of an early game doom drop in a way, because Hiya is pretty much going to drop all of his units at one of these bases, most likely the main. Although he could go for that 2 o'clock too. Since he knows about it now, he could drop there and pretty much take it out. And that'd be the easiest place, the shortest route. So I think he is going for that. Yeah, he's going straight for that 2 o'clock base with vultures and tanks. Well, I think there are some vultures in there. I know there are a couple tanks in that one dropship. Here come the dropship. Stork. He has nothing up here to defend himself. So he's running away with all of his probes. He hasn't thrown down any additional nexi yet. But, yeah, he's probably going to lose this nexus. He's running up there with some troops, but 2 more dropships full of troops. For Hiya, I think, yeah, he drops vultures at this time. He's dropping almost his entire army up here to take down this base. Smart play from Hiya. Good strategy. Laying some mines to help himself out. And Stork's got to retreat. Stork has to retreat. He's not going to be able to defend this base. I don't know why he's still pushing forward. I guess he's just doing a bit of mine dragging. Yeah, trying to get rid of those mines. But even with this small force of Dragoons on the ground, he's not going to be able to do this. Reavers, though. Reaver goes down. The Reaver's down for Stork. And he does clean this up finally, but not before losing his Nexus in the process. The Observer's pointing it out. Nexus gone. So Stork is trying to hide a base down at the 8 o'clock position. He's trying to hide a base down there where Hiya probably won't find it for a while. But Hiya is going to go around right now with a lot of vultures. And now Hiya is going to drop on top of this ridge with nothing but tanks. Oh, epic dropship play. Hiya finally playing to his strengths. Getting rid of all these Dragoons. Oh, just melting the Dragoons back here. Now Stork forced to run away from another base. And Hiya might have just freaking locked down this game with these 2 drops. Because he took down 1 Nexus. And now he's denying mining at the 2nd base. And Stork is struggling to get up his 3rd base. So Hiya playing excellently in this game, it seems. He came with a game plan today. He lost a dropship there. That was unfortunate. Might have had some troops in that. But he's coming up now with even more vultures in this dropship, I think. Yeah, a couple vultures and the tanks. Just to make sure that Stork can't drop up here and get rid of this. Yeah, Stork is hovering around with the shuttle saying, well, crap, what am I going to do? If I drop Zealots, the vultures are going to take them down, which they do. So Hiya continuing to hold that ridge area and taking his 3rd base at the same time. Now, Stork has finally established that 8 o'clock base. He's going down there with all of his probes. All the probe transfer being spotted by mine. So Hiya is in the know now if he kept his attention at the middle of the map. So he will be able to drop down there soon. He saw the directions that the probes were heading. So he might be able to drop down there and cause a lot of damage. Oh, things just not working out for Stork in this game, it seems. Here comes Hiya. He's moving down the map. moving his way down. He's going straight for that 8 o'clock. There are no probes even mining there yet. Absolutely ridiculous from Stork. But here come the dropships now to take down that brand new base, that third base from Stork. It looks like Hiya is evolving. He is evolving into Gyarados from the little flopping Magikarp. That's my Magikarp impression. But Stork is down here with his probes again, completely screwed now. He's going to lose his Nexus again. Another third Nexus going down from Stork. Stork just can't deal with his dropship play. Excellent dropship play from Hiya. And he's maintaining his presence in the middle of the map, too, taking out all those pesky zealots in the middle. He takes down the Nexus. Focus, and he does take it down. Stork stuck at 2 bases, and he's expanded like 4 times now. 2 bases go down so early for Stork. Stork has a major disadvantage, major military and economic disadvantage now. So Stork wants to do anything. He has to attack right now with his troop on the ground and kind of hope for the best, because if he doesn't, he's going to be completely screwed. He is going out finally with an observer to do some mine clearing, but Stork has to attack soon. He has to attack. Otherwise, Hiya's just going to win because he has a third base. And Stork pushing through, he knows this is pretty much his only chance to win this game, is to push now with all of his units. He's trying to get a good pincer, nice flank on the rest of the tanks that are back here. The rest of the Dragoons not running into the fray, though. As Stork, he's trying to bypass the defenses from Hiya and get some Dragoons down to that 5 o'clock position. Trying to get the Dragoons down there. Easier said than done. More dropships coming into play. I think they have tanks in them. So, yeah, a tank and a couple of vultures. So, boxing in Stork. God, this is almost a perfect game from Hiya. Where did this skill come from? This versus Protoss skill. I've never seen him display this kind of a Terran versus Protoss game before. But staying 1 step ahead of Stork the entire game, which is very difficult against a player like Stork. I mean, Stork is usually 1 step ahead of the Terran the entire game. But Stork's game plan just not working out for him. His strategy, his build order, not working out at all. Now the science vessels are out, just ready for Arbiter play. Working on the EMP upgrade at the science facility. Stork is trying to retake his third base up at the 2 o'clock, being scouted somehow by Hiya. He has 1 yellow unit up there. I'm not sure what it was. That lonely probe looking at the ruins of the Nexus. Oh, the Nexus. How I loved ye. I built you from scratch. Okay, never mind. Stork is trying to expand up at the 10 o'clock. Running into mines, though. He's not going to be able to plop down another Nexus. But Hiya is prepared here. Look at this from Hiya. 1 step ahead. Again, he's going to harass that 8 o'clock, probably force that Nexus down since it just started warping. And now Stork trying to take the Nexus at the 10 o'clock, realizing, oh, crap, there are mines in the way. So absolutely crazy play from Hiya. He is going to take this game, I think, as long as he keeps his head in this thing. He has the 3 bases. He has every kind of advantage you can want in a Terran versus Protoss game. He's just got to keep his head on his shoulders, stay pretty defensive, which he is being pretty defensive. Has a nice tank, huge tank line, protecting both his new bases. So I'd say that Hiya has this game as long as he doesn't make a major blunder of any kind, which he could definitely do. He could let Stork storm over all those tanks or something. But Stork's economy is dwindling so much. He finally got up his third base up at the 2 o'clock. Has that up finally uncontested, but Hiya will probably drop there soon and harass it again, since he already has 2 dropships out. Well, I think he still has 2 dropships. He's committed his starport to science vessels, pumping science vessels. So Hiya is moving up. He's moving up right now. Might be going for the game-ending blow at the natural expansion. Moving up there with all of his vultures. And Stork, I don't know what Stork can do. He's got to hold out long enough to get enough troops to get a pincer attack or something. Because Stork is not too far behind as far as unit count goes. He's at 144 population over Hiya's 150. Actually, he just got even in population. But of course, the Terran unit's much more efficient. And of course, they just covered everything with that little scrolling banner at the bottom. But Okay, here comes Stork. He's coming in with his Zealots. Got to get those Zealots at the front. He does get a Storm here. A couple of Storms from Stork. There are plenty of tanks in the back, though. So he's got to do some kind of mind dragging or something. He just more Storms at the front. Stork, this is what he needs to do to win. Oh, he storms over the tanks yet again, but still, I'm not sure if there are enough. Oh, man, more Storms from Stork. He takes out the tanks. All of the tanks pretty much have gone down. So Hiya... Hopefully Hiya has some more tanks at home. He's getting another drop there, actually, at Stork's third base yet again. And he's going to have to rely on a minimal defense. I can't believe that Stork actually took that engagement in the middle. After all that, he still takes the engagement. Wow. So Stork is going to lose another base up at the 2 o'clock. Lose that again. I guess third time might be the charm. Oh, he isn't going to lose it. There was only one... a vulture being dropped, but Hiya is going to use this opportunity to drop another tank on the ledge and force Stork to run away from that base yet again. But Hiya still, to his credit, still staying in this game. Losing all those tanks, though, that was a huge loss from him. Stork, oh, I don't know what he had in that shuttle, but it was probably very expensive and very important. But storming on top there before Morphic Archon, it's a bit ridiculous. But he needed some way to get rid of that pesky tank behind the natural. And now Stork has somehow gotten up to 4 bases. He's actually evened this game back up somehow. It's kind of a miracle that he's able to get back in this game. So Hiya got to work on his 4th base soon, or at least go for another push, because he's grouped up quite a few more units in the middle. So he could go for another push of Stork. Got to watch out for those High Templar, though. Stork has been deadly, but those in this game took out so many tanks with those storms. Okay, Hiya dancing around. Looks like he's going straight for the 10 o'clock position. He already sees it up there, so he's going to try to snipe all the probes that are left at that 10 o'clock. Now Stork trying to deal with some harassment at his 2 o'clock, too, so both the top edges of the map are being harassed now by Hiya, making Stork very annoyed, I'm sure. Stork running around. He doesn't have an observer at the 2 o'clock, so he's going to run into mines there if he's not too careful. But, oh, the mines. Oh, Stork, he does snipe the mine before it drags into him, fortunately for him. But, yeah, Stork is doing some excellent defense. And, yeah, I think that Stork's skill is actually showing in this game more than many of his other games in the OSL. Just coming back from that kind of deficiency, but now forced to storm on top of himself. The High Templar out there completely in no man's land, and Hiya snipes all of them. All of the High Templar are sniped. That is huge. Absolutely huge. Oh, man. So Hiya might have taken the game back into his grasp. I just grabbed the football again after Stork fumbled. Because losing all those High Templar, all those storms would have been so critical in the next engagement. So Stork isn't going to be able to attack for a while. He does not have the troops to do it. If he had those High Templar, it would be a different story. But now he doesn't. So Hiya going to work on his 4th base. He's already put down an SCV down at 6 o'clock position. Going to throw down his command center down there. And he's grouped up another huge tank line. So if he pushes now, I think that Hiya can get this done. With the High Templar gone, just about every threat is gone for Hiya. So he needs to push soon. Make use of the freaking tanks. He has a +3 attack and +2 armor on the tanks on his mech army. So he can really just push now. He can A-move and probably take Stork out as long as he steers clear of the splash units. But Stork, all he has basically are some Dragoons running around in the middle. I don't see a lot of Zealots either from Stork, so taking on the tanks will be a major undertaking. Okay, there are finally the Zealots trying to catch up to the rest of the Dragoons. Sniping in the science vessel, that's good. Keep down the EMPs that are going to land on him, but here comes Hiya. He's pushing up with a huge cluster of troops, and there's Stork trying to push yet again. He has High Templar again. Only one, though. One High Templar gets off one storm. Oh, man, can you imagine if the rest of the High Templar had survived? Because Stork, he loses the engagement in the middle. If he had the rest of his High Templar, I think he would have taken that. Oh, insane. So Hiya is pushing up. Yeah, he's sieging the 10 o'clock, and that might be it. Yeah, GG from Stork. Oh, we have a series now, 1-1. That was such a good game, too, from both. Well played from both in that game. But all right, let's move on to the final set of the round of 8. Let's do it.